What's up, Internet? Welcome to the Angry Owl Sessions, or said another way, welcome to this clickbait. I already know what I'm going to call this video, so if you were clickbaited, my deep apologies, but still think what I'm going to say it's kind of important, to be honest, for for both dog lovers and dog non-lovers all over the world, because I think there is a lot of energy. I don't think some of these people from what is this? Are free. This is not going to be focused on our Dogfree, okay? It was just a clickbait, most of the usual things. But I pretty much think that anyone in our Dogfree might be directing their anger or energy towards the wrong people, towards the wrong object, which is dogs. And the deal is just today it's around 8 p.m., 7 p.m., and yeah, 7:40, and today I just spent the entire day listening to a small dog behind my house, and he was crying. Yeah. They have a little small, like no more than 2 square meters yard. The backyard, it's not even the backyard, it's like a patio or something. It's basically a place where you go to wash your clothes. And they have this place, and these neighbors apparently got themselves a new dog. And they are now keeping him captive in that 2 meters per 2 meters space, and even that is being a little too kind. It's not a big space. It's not a nice space. It's cold. It's wet, and those neighbors already had a dog, and that dog is stuck in their rooftop. And they have a pretty limited rooftop. They normally will have a pretty large rooftop, but they have been limiting the dog's area of being. And it's been 15 years since that dog got adopted. And adopted is a kind word again. And that dog spent all of his life on that rooftop, because he basically adapted to the cold, he adapted to the loneliness. You could say that I was his only friend, because every now and then I stay with him and I say hello to him from my rooftop. But yeah, that dog spent all of his life in captivity, and now the neighbors behind my house, thought we have already pretty much tortured one dog. We already have a history of torturing dogs. Why not get a new one? Why not? So yeah, that is an issue, and even Mark said it himself in a video of his. Some of the energy is not directed towards dogs; it's towards the bad owners, and of those there are thousands. There are thousands, and this is just like I'm just amooshing your bush. I'm just like this is just an amoosh bush. This is just the beginning. This isn't even the deep of it. Like those neighbors, whenever I used to go walk my dog before he passed away, I used to go walk him all the day, every day, and you, like every 3 houses, every 4 houses, there was the same case, and that was just the front yards that I'm talking about. That was just like the front patios, same space. This is the same type of houses. There's not much space. There's not much life. But yeah, everybody, a lot of people in my street have that situation where they have a dog. They say they have a dog, but do they really take care of him? That is the issue here, and that is my problem, because as you probably have heard around your life, if you're around older than 20 years old, I bet you probably know, or you probably have heard Everybody, that a lot of people, they have a dog and they love their dog, and their dog is their baby. Even this neighbor right here, I just heard him calling his dog baby. Right, that dog literally spent at least 10 hours sobbing, crying, I don't know, making a tantrum because he was so desperate, because he was so already so lost of control. He wanted affection. I just can't help but wonder what dogs are adopting, and they start thinking, they say, "Hey, maybe I was better off on the streets," and that is the issue. That was not a dog. That was a dog, by the way. That was a dog. That was a dog that was bought on a pet store, and to put it even better, they not only are they torturing dogs, they're even supporting the industry that basically makes this whole fucking shit mess of society where there are like 1,000 dogs in the pound and there are like 1 billion more on the streets. And yeah, the dog was crying, everything, and another story comes to mind. Of I used to have a friend. You could say she was like a popular girl, like the social kind of girl. Everybody's interested in her. Everyone wants to know what she's up to. She was pretty and casual. She lived around my house. I'm not gonna lie to you. I also thought she was attractive, but we didn't last longer than 1 week. We couldn't take each other's shit. We were too different apart, and but she still lives close to me. And not only that, did I saw her without makeup, which completely changed my perspective of her. And this girl always went out saying that she loved her dog. Her dog was her baby. Her dog was her life, etc., etc. A few months later, I ended up going to her house because she got stuck outside her house with her friends. They didn't invite me, by the way. Yeah, they didn't invite me, and they were like, they called me. They were like, "Are you home? We got stuck." And I go like, "Oh shit!" So I grabbed my pickpocket, so I grabbed my screwdriver, and I went over there to get them inside their house. And I found out exactly where it was they kept their dog. Same scenario. They had their dog on their backyard, which was the tiniest little space ever, wet. I saw a piece of raw, rotten meat lying there with all the ants and the mud. Oh. Anyways, I'm not here to complain about the dogs. I love dogs more than anything. I had a dog myself. He was my life. I still haven't gotten over his death, and I have helped, and you could say rescued a few other dozen dogs. But to be honest, I'm too exhausted of them at the moment. It's kind of, ever since my dog died, it's kind of hard. And this thing, they come with this type of stuff, where all these people come and say they love their dogs is life, and it's really easy. The thing is, and the thing we must consider is, it's really easy for people to say they love a dog when they only own a dog. And there's a big difference between owning a dog and loving and taking care of a dog. For example, whenever I used to have my dog, he used to be like a really grumpy dog. To be honest, I took my grumpiness from him, and he didn't like anybody else in my family. And he did beat people. He didn't beat people. He was kind of violent towards other people, because that was who he was. He wasn't like he didn't have like rabies or anything, or he was crazy. He just protected us very much, and because he was a really small dog. He was like a tiny little schnauzer, and because of that, he wanted to protect us, and he had this complex that made him want to protect us. And whenever I walked him out on the street, there were all these people who were like, let me touch my dog. And I was like, no, keep away. My dog will bite you if you come close. You don't have anything to do here. And it was enough that I was a germaphobe. Then they had to come and try to touch my dog, who was going to beat them, by the way. But it was like, you tell them something, and they didn't believe you. They were like, no, dogs love me and everything. And once my dog bit the person. That after 3 times I told him, uh, he just came, touched him, and my dog bit him because my dog didn't want it to be touched. And it was the same case over and over. And what was another thing? I just thought about another thing. Let me take a sip of my tea while I think about it. Crap, I can't remember anything. But yeah, that is the issue with people. People. Oh yeah, and another thing. I always took a lot of care for my dog. That's what having a dog means. To raise them. Many people tell me, they make so much bathroom in the house. My dog, he made on the house around 1 year, and after that he spent like 16 years without ever peeing in the house, ever. He never did his business on the house, ever since he was like 1 year old. And after he passed away, I took care of another dog who came, by the way, really really not spoiled, uneducated. Their owners weren't that good, and I took care of him because I rescued him at first, and I trained him in like a month, and in a month he, instead of doing all over the house, he did it in the shower that we don't use anymore. So it was easier to clean, and in the end, that's all it took. It was really easy to train him. Dogs are smart. People are not. It's amazing how smart dogs can be in comparison to people. So yeah, like I said, the title of this video is mostly like clickbait. But if for some reason I did drag somebody from Dogfree or anything, I don't have anything against you. I have a lot against dog owners as well. Not against dogs. That is my. If there is a message to be taken for exactly people like you or anybody else, to be honest, is it's not the dogs. It's the people. It's the people that make dogs violent. It's the people that have made dogs homeless. It's the people that have supported dog breeders all over the world, all over the country. I really wish dog abuse or animal abuse organizations were stronger in my country. There's not. If they decide to leave this dog here in the backyard of my house, of the head of their house, there's nothing I can do to prevent it. I mean, we have crappy laws for humans. What are we going to do about dogs? And yeah, if you do hate dogs, my message is don't hate them, hate the people. They are the people that you must direct their energy towards. Because it's really easy for people to say they love their dog and everything. And if I saw one when I visited once. I haven't even visited our Dogfree in like a year, but last time I visited it, I I saw many memes about dogs who beat other people, and like I said, if they beat other people, there's one possibility. There are a few possibilities. One, you were one of the people, the dumb people who were like, I want to touch him, which is kind of unlikely but possible. Two, their dogs, they weren't educated, they were nice dogs, or the owners, they weren't taking good care of it. I just remember another good example of bad owner is the owner that lets the dog get away, run away, get loose, lose them, made their own dogs into stray dogs, and then act as if nothing had happened, which happens a lot around here. Every year, people lose dogs, really away a lot often. And I never let my dog run away. In 15 years, in 16 years, I never let my dog run away. Even when this other dog that I took care of, he was really jumpy. He had all the energy in the world, and if he had run away from me, I wouldn't have been able to catch him. I would have lost him, and I knew that. And he never run away. That is the issue. It really doesn't take that much to just not let your dog run away. But of course, there are some careless people that want to take the excuse that their dog is smart, and they are smart, but they want to take that excuse as to excuse themselves from being responsible, and in the end, their dog runs away. Like for example, like a few other times, like it's the amount of people that don't take proper care of their dog. It's too many, and the manners in which they don't take proper care of their dog, they are too many. So yeah, like I said, there is not guilty. The guilty ones are not the dogs. The guilty ones are sometimes the owners. If you some I mean Dogs by themselves, they are filled with such love, they are filled with such energy, they'll make you wake up early, they'll make you be happy. Um, they they can change your entire attitude and aura towards the better. But of course, if you change, but of course, you can also change theirs. Not that much. Dogs, in a way, they will always be filled with love, but we humans, may even if we are not their owners, we can affect them. We can affect them very much. In fact, I just remembered my dog, like I said, he beat people. He was kind of violent. He only became violent after a housekeeper that came. They used to come into my house. I was really young back then, and I should have spoken of my mind, but I didn't until a bit later, until she was long gone. But until a housekeeper grabbed the wet broom and started to shower him, to shake the broom towards him, and basically splatter him with water. And since then, my dog became a very violent dog. And that is exactly the example. It's not the dogs don't have anything wrong, but I do encourage anybody who may not like a dog or anybody who does like a dog. I would encourage them to really start focusing negative. I don't know, not negative energy, but really start focusing their energy towards the problem when these type of scenario in these type of scenarios towards the bad owners, because most of the times it is the bad owner. So if you, next time a person comes to you and says, "I also love dogs and everything," maybe doubt about it. No, okay, I'm gonna make this video 20 minutes. What the fuck? When I was in high school and I still worked at the refuge, uh, well, I think it was after then, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to. But yeah, I was in the school and a stray dog walked in, the sweetest dog, and I saw this girl trying to protect him. I saw this girl talking with the university guard that was basically letting him away, and the girl was like, "Oh, don't be so mean and everything." And at first I was like, "Cool, this girl also likes dogs. This is nice." And I have an ally, I thought. and and then another Chad joined in, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to look into a dog for this dog and everything." So the police, and I also joined, of course. I joined like the second I saw her, and the police, the university, the high school police, uh, buggered off. They stayed away, and they say, "Okay, find him a home and everything." They were like really positive about it. They were really nice, to be honest. And in the end, I was like, "Okay, what do we do with this dog?" And the Chad was like, "I'm going to get him a home." And the girl was like, "Oh yeah, sure, let's get him a home." And the girl went away with the Chad, and I never saw them again. I waited for them like 3 hours. It was the evening shift, by the way. We're talking about the classes ended like at 7 p.m. I waited till like 9 p.m. with the dog that had high hopes for them. None of them even came back to say, "Hey, guess what? We were just joking about not finding a home. We were just trying to bang each other." So yeah, I had no choice since I didn't have the refuge anymore because it closed. I had no choice but to let that dog go back into the street. I couldn't take him. I had a dog and I had no place to take him. No place at all. But I still, that dog would have been much better if he had continued on his way, if the policeman would have just let him off the school and continued on his way, than if I had been giving him hopes for an entire day. I skipped my classes all day, etc. For what? Just making I don't know, just destroying a dog's life even a little bit further, as if I hadn't already done that enough. So yeah, like I said, there are a lot of dogs are pretty nice. They're pretty beautiful in theory, or at least in soul, at birth. So yeah, basically my point is, dogs are very nice. They are very beautiful at birth and soul and everything. It's bad dog owners and bad people, the ones that are basically guilty of all this shit. And when has it not? When are the people not guilty of all the hatred that's been going on in the world, with all the consumer bullshit that's been going on in the world? I mean, that I'm not gonna go into that right now. It's already 20 minutes video. Yeah, that is pretty much it. Okay, again, if you're not into dogs, that's okay. I dated a girl that I wanted to date a girl that didn't want anything to do with dogs because she was allergic, and I thought this is perfect. I've had too much with people who always say that they love dogs because it's really easy and it's really attractive when people like dogs. The reality is a different one. So yeah, why don't you try? Well, next time you meet a person that loves dogs like world, try to find out if it's really as devotedly, because it can be. It can be. I am a really devoted dog lover, and as a very devoted dog lover, I found out that almost nobody else in the city loves dogs. At least not as the way they should. They all love dogs and everything. But are they responsible? Do they really have their the dogs in mind whenever they think about what can affect their lives or the lives of everybody else? Of course they don't. That is the issue here. Yeah, that was everything for this video. My name was the Angry Owl Sessions, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a good one, everybody. Goodbye.